that you take the bit off, even if you knew what you're doing, and then okay to let's get positive vibes. Always say, don't you regret when you do, when something happens to you in your life? And I'm like, I never regret, guys. And just hope, do not let your circumstances and their consequences to you. I think this is your side mission that you're supposed to be, that you're not making the right decision. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Mimi, and welcome back to Sleeping with Mimi. Oh, I know, guys. Day 2 of, day 2 out of 20 of doing these videos for advice as your big sister, things that I've gone through in university, and just kind of share my experience, and just hoping that you take the bit of, even if it's 1 second that you hear from this episode, it would have done its job. Because you know what, the goal is to change one person's life at a time. So let's get into it. I will be referring to my notes that are on my laptop. So today's topic, especially on my Instagram, go follow me on my Instagram at Mimi Gumbo. If you follow me on Instagram and you recently saw, I posted a poll for people to kind of click in what they want me to talk about, for especially because some of my friends on Instagram, really, we have been at this university thing for a while. So they kind of have advice, they want the do's and the don'ts. And one question they really asked me to talk about was that, is it okay to make mistakes, and how does one choose friends? I think that's the biggest thing.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
That you ever think about that. So what happens after you've made mistakes? What happens if the friends that you thought you're going to be friends with for the rest of your life, they leave you, or they're not good for your well-being? We are going to discuss all of that and how to choose the right friends. By the way, I'm not a certified whatnot, but I am a certified Christian saved girl. I am saved, and I have wisdom from God that I will share personally in this. So as you can see the topic, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can. Oh, it's me. Oh, what happened? Oh, there it is. Is it okay to make mistakes, and how to choose the right friends? So let's get into the topic. I'm quite excited. I'll try not to but yeah, welcome back. So is it okay to make mistakes? First of all, I don't believe in mistakes. I don't believe the word mistakes. I just think it's lack of knowledge. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you do something right, you do it not because you obviously sometimes you know that it's wrong, but at the same time you don't know the consequences. So the lack of knowledge of consequences makes you act out, and because if you knew the consequences, you'd feel the consequences. That's why you would not do it, and that's why you won't make a mistake. And people always say, don't you regret when you do something, or when something happens to you in your life? And I'm like, I never regret, guys. I don't regret in my life. I don't even want to think about the word regret, because I always say regret is something like you regretted doing in that moment. Like when you did that thing, you knew what you're doing, and it's a bad decision type of thing. But for me, I view regret as you didn't have knowledge. Like you knew in that moment, you didn't know that this thing had this consequence and it was going to be like this. So that hence the doing part and regretting part, because you didn't know. So that's why I think what happens when people say they've regretted. So it's natural to make mistakes, and it's part of life. And mistakes is only a part of learning that happens. So you never regret things that you didn't know have knowledge. I just think that's why we have to seek knowledge so that we make better decisions for our life. And you know what? Making a mistake is an opportunity to learn and be better at it, and to be the best version of yourself that you can be in the next moment, so that you won't have to repeat the same thing again. So when we make mistakes, we gain insight. You know, you could, that's what I'm saying, that the gap is always knowledge. The gap to succeeding into something and making a mistake into something is knowledge. That had you had the knowledge that you're going to gain when you make the mistake, you wouldn't be able to make the mistake. So you grow and develop resilience to keep going, because when you face that same situation again, you will make better decisions. You will know what to do. You will know what not to do. You will know that this is wrong, this is right. I gotta go this way. I gotta go to the right. I gotta go to the left. It literally gives you an insight on life and how to be better. And I would say also learn, like learning, take it in, like takes learning seriously. I don't mean academics. I obviously do take academics seriously, but I mean learning life, street smart, being a street smart person. I would say you need to read. You need to really just essentially read a lot of books and learn from other people. Don't be like Thomas, you know, he needed to see to believe it. Don't be the one to see to believe, because definitely you'll regret it. Definitely there are consequences to things that you do in life, and there are consequences to not making the right decision. There are consequences to not making the right decisions now and tomorrow, that you might regret it a day later, a month later, a year later, 3 years later, a decade ago. So whatever we do now affects our 10 years. Whatever you do now for yourself in life affects your future. And resilience is born out of mistakes. I always, you know, it's good that you learn to be a resilient person. You have strong will. You are strong. Like, you can be strong, man. Like, you have a heart of stone. But yeah, and it will help you, honestly. And choosing friends. When it comes to choosing friends, guys, there's no formula to choosing the right friends. I think you have to pray for discernment from God, and you also have to really see, like, you are grown now, you know how to make decisions, and you kind of have to look at what season are you in your life. There are always those friends that are core friendships, like, you know, the ones that have been with you, and you guys don't just take and take in each other's lives. You give and you take. You give and you take. It's a give-take relationship. I'm not saying all relationships should just be, I'm not saying friendships should be give and take. I'm just saying you benefit from being in each other's presence. Like, if I come to you, I must gain so much knowledge. I must gain wisdom on a certain matter that I don't have best expertise in. I must gain knowledge on something that I personally don't know about. Because I can't just, in life, we can't just be going and acting like life is not all about succeeding. I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to have so much money, more than I have right now. I want to be in a better position than I was yesterday. And if you come into my life and you are not adding value, you are subtracting value, oh, best believe I will keep my distance. I'll say thank you. But if you need me though, I'm gonna be here. But as personally, to say I'm gonna be there, to say, oh, we're gonna go through milestones in life, nah, thank you, bye. I'm good. I'm not trying to be here. I'm not trying to do this. This is not what God has called me to be. God has called me to be a friend who you can rely on, a friend that you can count on. So in life, when you're choosing friends, it evolves. Every year you become a different person, but you have to find those people that love you for the person that you are. People that will accept you for who you are. Most of the time, people think they'll accept you until you show them your real you. And then I'm like, you weren't like this. Because they only liked the people pleasing you. They only liked the version of you that was, you know, gaslighting them into believing that they are a good friend. People only like the versions of you that they can suppress. So you have to also be careful that some people don't like when you see people liking the versions of you that are not successful because they just want to be the successful one in the friendship. then you need somebody who can be happy for you, happy and feel the same pain with you when you're going through life. For me, that's friendship. There is literally no single way to do friendship right. I think it's just a thing of like, you learn each other, you grow with each other, you set boundaries. I know friendship has boundaries. I think also when we lose friendship because some people get frustrated because you didn't follow my boundary. I don't want to do this, but you keep on pestering me to do it. And that's another thing. Like, people always cross each other boundaries. So make sure your boundaries are set from the get-go, kinda. Learn to set boundaries. And people that share your similar characteristics, if you like dancing, if you like making content, if you like singing, if you like praying, if you like going to church, which everybody should, if you like doing things basically, or you like positiveness, you like people that are positive because you are positive, then find somebody who is positive in your life and, express that you actually want to be friends. I think the most we're underestimating that. Not underestimating, what's the English word for this? I would say people have just gotten used to not asking if somebody wants to be their friend. I mean, I know you click to a certain level, but you have to kind of agree that you want to be friends. So there is like also that clear, like, yeah, you get what I mean? Like, you're asking somebody out to be their friend. I would say 90% of my friendships, I've said to them, I want to be friends with you. I genuinely want to be intentional in this friendship. I want to get to know you. I want to be a close friend. I see this friendship going somewhere. 90% of my friendships. And they go well. Some don't, because we find out later on during the course of our friendship that this was not actually what I signed up for, and I'm kind of not into this. It's okay to change friendships. I think it's also okay to be alone. When you're in a season of just figuring it out to be the best version of yourself, figuring it out to be what God has called you to be. It's some season you need to be alone to kind of figure out all those things, because so much noise can be detrimental to your growth, detrimental to your process, detrimental to your inner voice, because all you can hear is that other person's voice or other people's voices. So I think trust, God being the center of anything, makes God being the center makes it a key ingredient to a very successful friendship, relationships. God, whatever may, put God at the center of it all. If you have heard anything today from what I've said, I say keep God at the center, baby. Keep God at the center of it. You don't want to kind of like sideline from what God has intended for you, and you also don't want to move out of alignment with God, because it's really good. And embrace your mistakes. If anything, I'm just gonna make few brief points. I'm gonna say embrace your mistakes, view them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks, and because they provide valuable lessons that help you learn and grow and learn from your mistakes. It's okay to learn. It's okay to stumble. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You get better. You learn, you pick up yourself, and you get better. Don't dwell. Don't focus on the mistake. You see, if you focus on my face, you're going to start to see the flaws on my face, because you're focused on it. If you focus that this side, right side, is bigger than this left side, or my face is numb, you're going to see numbness on my face. So whatever you focus on, it becomes bigger. You focusing on my hand, it's going to look big. You see? It's going to look big. But if you don't focus, what does it look? Small. So whatever you magnify, whatever you draw into, it magnifies. So focus on positivity so that it magnifies. Don't focus on the problem. Don't focus on your mistakes. It's done. It's dusted. There's nothing you can do. It's already done. Like, what can you do? You can't go back. You can't. The worst that you can do is sit and dwell on your mistakes. So acknowledge your mistakes and move on. Apologize if you hurt a person. Ask for forgiveness from the person that you've hurt or the person that you have done something wrong, and move on. Forgive yourself. It happens. It's not that deep. Forgive yourself. And when it comes to choosing friends, focus on your shared values, your beliefs, And because this kind of, it actually creates a strong foundation for a lasting friendship, like believing in God, Christian friends, because you know there is no we're gonna party tonight, there is no we're going to the club, there is no we smoking, there's no we drinking, there's no sleeping around, because you know as a Christian you don't do that, you know. And be yourself. Being authentic is the one of the best things that you can do as a friend, or to yourself, honestly, because it's actually more expensive mentally to not be yourself. It is. I cannot think of how many times I like I was not authentic, and it cost me so much more of mental capacity, and always trying to be that people pleasing person, and it was not nice. It's hard. Nature your friendships. Be intentional with your friendships. I think people forget being intentional with friendships. Friendships don't just become your friends overnight. You need to be intentional. Go on dates, check up on them, talk to them, send them messages, check how are you, go like spend time, quality time, do the whole, you know, when you're in your relationship you give gifts, you do that, it's the same thing with friendships. It's the same thing. It literally is the same thing. It is the same thing. And you want to
hey y'all, come look at this.
Make sure you're intentional with everything you do, and allow God to just leave the rest. And you have to remember that your friends should make you feel good about yourself. They should support you, lift you up, and make you feel valued at the end of the day, not somebody who brings you down. And good friends are there for you in the good times and the bad times. In the bad times we're praying, in the good times we're rejoicing with you, because that's what we do. And friendship is a two-way street. As I said earlier on, some people only come to take and take. You want to be the friend that gives. It, you know, in the Bible it says it's blessed to give more than to receive. So be the giver and less more. And I'm not saying don't receive. I'm just saying give and receive also. And other than that, I think that is for today. That's for day 2. And thank you for tuning in. I hope if you haven't watched day 1, this is your sign, because these lessons are just evolving day by day, and I can't wait. Go on my YouTube channel, go on my Instagram if you want to contribute a topic on at Mimi Gumbo, MIMIGUMBO, and on my TikTok it's Big Sis Mimi 101. Check me there. I'm also doing videos daily about just advice and stuff like that. And guys, it was nice talking to my camera the whole 17 minutes. I don't want to make this video so long, so I'm just gonna cut it here. Have a great day. God loves you, and stay tuned for more. Bye.